Hello, I'm Neota Igbe, and we are back with a new edition of Echoed Africa directly from the Nairobi National Park. Welcome to the show.
And my name is Edith Kimani, and we're glad to be with you again. Now, together, we bring you fresh environmental ideas and topics from all over Africa and, of course, Europe.
Now, here's what we have for you today. We explain why Ghana, of all countries, so desperately needs water filters.
Then we'll show you how an enthusiasm for environmental protection is being awakened in kids in Uganda.
And then we'll head to the Cape Verde Islands to meet a conservationist protecting sea turtles.
So back to Nigeria now. And Neota, I understand that in your country you have quite a few wetlands.
Yes, we do have a few wetlands, but this time we're focusing on Jos, which is located on the plateau, central Nigeria. And there, the area used to be mined, but then the government and the local communities are now working together to encourage farmers to set up fish farms. Let's take a look.
Chioma Okafor does what she loves the most, nature watching. She runs a conservation organization in a former mining area near the city of Jos. One of the projects of the Eden Creation Care Initiative is a fish farm. Commercial business and conservationism is a perfect fit for Okafor.
This site was an old tin mining site that was transformed into a fish farm in 1986 to produce fish for commercial purposes. There was a change in management and things were left to deteriorate. But we have come into management and our aim is to raise fish and conserve the natural environment.
The fish farm breeds primarily catfish and tilapia. The fish thrive on organic feed. This wet mud, for example, attracts insects that lay their eggs in it. Bred in small ponds, the fish will later be transferred to these larger pools. Monitoring them all is Marcus Donjuma. Today, he's checking the water levels. He also makes sure the fish do not fall prey to local poachers.
In a farm, as you can see now, all the farms, the fish are inside now. Well, we doesn't have anything that we are to give them, or they are eating grass and clay, so they are enjoying that one. The habitat is good for them.
The Eden Creation Care Initiative also includes a plant nursery. The seedlings will be planted around the ponds and in a nearby forest. The aim is to restore a landscape destroyed by 100 years of mining. Students regularly participate in data collection and bird ringing to discover new species. Chioma Okafor is grateful for every helping hand.
Some of the data we have collected are on birds, plants, and insects. For the insects, we identify the insects found in the farm, and all the data are being analyzed and reports will be made from it. And hopefully we will make scientific reports, papers that could be published in journals as well.
Okafor has always had an interest in nature and wildlife, an interest she's eager to pass on to her son. She firmly believes that a healthy environment is vital for healthy living conditions. Driven by a belief that God placed humans on earth to take care of the environment, she sees her work as simply doing her duty.
We hope that our project can serve as a pioneer project through which we can get a template by which we'll train other fish farmers who could go into conservation aquaculture as well.
After 6 months, the fish are sold at the local market in Jos. It's an organic and affordable protein-rich food. For Chioma Okafor, this is just the first step. She hopes to one day find the funds to expand the project to the neighboring community.
And now to a different topic here in Kenya.
Well, that's a great idea. Now, Neota, you know that in many African countries, awareness of how important it is to protect sustainable resources continues to rise. And so too it does here in Kenya. And this is why some inventive volunteers have gotten together to design efficient cooking ovens. You know what they do? They save charcoal. And that's good for the environment.
Indeed. So let's go see how they are doing their bit for these environment.
Smart stoves are changing kitchens in Kenya. In rural areas, firewood is the main source of energy. But the traditional 3-stone cooking stoves pollute the air. And since they require a lot of firewood, they're bad for forests too. A group called Young Volunteers for the Environment, or YVE, found a solution. A clean and efficient clay stove. It consists of a rocket stove with 2 potholes and a chimney. And the system takes only a few hours to install. It doesn't produce smoke, so the firewood burns longer. And that in turn means less firewood is consumed.
Do you like that? If you are also doing your bit, tell us about it. Visit our website or send us a tweet. #DoingYourBit. We share your stories.
And now, Edith, let's look at Germany, known for engineering and high-tech machines. There's a company in the south of the country that specializes in water filters needed in certain parts of the world.
You know, for example, Ghana. Now, the drinking water there contains too much fluoride, and this is bad for your health. And that's why the German company has developed a system that can filter out the substance. It's a good idea that could also be useful in other African countries.
The village of Gabalo in northern Ghana. Groundwater in this area contains high levels of fluoride. As a result, locals have experienced some serious health problems. Many elderly people suffer from rheumatism, while young people have discolored teeth. In May 2016, a water filtration system was installed. Its purpose was to reduce fluoride levels to a healthier level. The project was made possible with the help of a German company. Bauer Resources, a construction and engineering firm based in Bavaria. Alexander Dittmar is director of Bauer's Africa division.
As we become aware of this issue of the fluoride contamination in the drinking water in the Chereponi district, we took it part of our social responsibility for this country to develop a program how we can support the community on that.
The solution, a filtration unit built into a container that Bauer could ship to Ghana.
This is one of our containerized units, and this is how it looks like in the inside. The scent filter, we remove the biology of the water, any bacteria and everything. And in the activated carbon filter, it will also help the water to have a good taste. Then from there it goes through a fluoride removal and then to a disinfection unit.
Installations like this cost 35 to 90,000 euros depending on capacity. Bauer split the costs with GIZ, a German company specializing in international development. Of course, the people of Gabalo themselves also took part in the project.
All the supporting building and the foundation, the fencing and everything was built by the villagers on their own contribution. And so this is also not something that's just landed there in the little village, and they helped to build it up.
The village isn't connected to an electricity grid, but that hasn't been a problem. The facility runs on solar power, so it's environmentally friendly too. The residents are already seeing positive results from the reduction in fluoride levels.
We're very pleased with the facility. The elders have fewer aches and pains in their bodies, and the children aren't experiencing any new problems with their teeth.
But the villagers do now have to pay for the water, around 20 cents for 25 litres. No one makes a profit though. That sum simply covers the operating costs, including the salary of the 4 villagers trained to maintain the facility. A small price to pay for healthy water in the region. A Skype call from Ghana. One of Bauer's engineers visiting the site has some good news. The on-site crew have repaired a small glitch. Bauer now plans to expand its efforts to other regions.
Now the plan is to install more plants to communities with similar problems. The plant is suitable for remove fluoride or high iron or manganese levels. And together with donor organizations and with the government, we will try to find financing options to make sure that we can provide the technology to other communities.
Smart solutions. The people of Gabalo are healthier as a result of clean drinking water.
Lifestyle and environment are increasingly important in Germany, and there's a whole new market developing there. More and more people are choosing to avoid meat or any animal products completely. Now they only eat vegan.
They're human, right? Definitely not this ones.
Vegetarian lions? No. But for the vegans, they renounce any ingredients in food that has any animal products. And that's good for the environment. Here's why.
The burger sizzling on this grill is made of tofu, not beef. There's not a scrap of meat to be found at the Dandy Diner. The entirely vegan fast food restaurant was set up by two fashion bloggers, Jakob Haupt and David Roth. They refer to themselves as vegans for trend reasons.
You express yourself through your clothes, the brands you wear, and also through what you eat and what you don't eat. Veganism is huge these days. We recognized that early on, and now we're the vegan fast food kings.
But veganism is not just a hip trend. Scientists say it also benefits the environment. Livestock farming is responsible for around 15% of global human-produced greenhouse gas emissions. And antibiotics in factory farms and manure pollute the soil and the groundwater. Those are good reasons for many people to go vegan. And having a healthy diet without meat is becoming easier, in Western cities at least. Cafes serve soy milk lattes. Vegan cakes can be found on practically every street corner in Berlin. Many customers say the vegan products are as good as their dairy counterparts. There are even vegan supermarkets, such as Vegans. The first store opened in 2011, and now there are already 10 all over Europe. CEO Jan Bredak says veganism has entered the mainstream.
In the beginning, it was a shop for vegans, for a niche market, but people soon realized that our vision was to make everyone happy. We managed to attract many people to veganism who were skeptical before and a bit turned off by our initially very small target group.
People are turning to veganism for several reasons. Some do it for the environment, some find it healthier, and others are concerned about the treatment of animals in the mass meat and dairy industries. They're prepared to pay more for the high-quality products, whether in the supermarket itself or in the chain's attached restaurants. Of course, there are no meat or dairy products on the menu here. The business prospects are so good that even the meat industry is jumping on the bandwagon.
The margins are higher for vegan food because it's not yet industrialized and rationalized. And because it's a niche market that only makes up about 1% of the entire market, the potential for growth is huge, like up to 10 or 20%.
The vegan chorizo burger is the best seller so far back at the Dandy Diner. But all the offerings seem to be pretty popular, and the two entrepreneurs are already planning to expand.
We've had loads of offers, like franchise advisors wanting to work with us. The industry interest is there. Now it's all about the rollout. 2017's our year.
So the vegan revolution is underway. And even in fast food restaurants, someone's sure to be tickled pink about it. The pig, who won't end up on the grill.
And now to an environmental problem that a lot of African countries are fighting. Uganda is one of the biggest producers of charcoal, and a lot of trees have to be chopped down for its production.
Indeed, that's right. I can tell you that the problem of deforestation is huge across rural Africa, as many people need the charcoal for cooking. They are often not aware of the negative effects.
And you know, that's what an organization in Uganda is seeking to change. It goes to schools to create awareness among the young for how important nature is to all of us. They're making a difference in how the next generation views the environment.
Indeed.
The Go Green Festival in the Ugandan capital Kampala may look like a typical children's event, but its theme is conservation and sustainability. The festival, organised by the Little Hands Go Green NGO, aims to get young people enthusiastic about environmental protection. Programme Director Sam Semakula also visits schools to plant trees with children. It's part of efforts to fight deforestation in Uganda.
The hope is to have green orchards within the school, of not less than 100 trees in each school. 2, to have green orchards at each and every homes of the little ones. For example, in Uganda, over 2 million children in Uganda. If each child plants a tree, you don't need a forest. You don't need, as Ugandans Go Green, to go and buy land and get a big and start planting thousands of trees. It's just one child per tree. It will make a big difference.
New trees are desperately needed in Uganda, where more than 200,000 hectares of forest are cleared each year. Like here, where what was once densely forested land was recently cleared to make way for a lucrative sugarcane plantation. Since 1990, the country has lost nearly 2/3 of its forests. At this rate, all forested land in Uganda will vanish in less than 20 years. The reason for this is tied to extremely high population growth. That drives the need to expand the area devoted to agriculture and creates more demand for firewood. Wood and charcoal are the biggest energy sources in Uganda. A single family needs upwards of 150 kilos for cooking alone every month. This high demand has serious consequences for Uganda. Deforestation has affected the climate. Farmers are dealing with drastic fluctuations in rainfall, either too much or too little, and that's had devastating results. Jeffrey Kamese works for the environmental protection organisation NAPE.
Many of our people have died, dying as a result of floods. Some of them have been killed by landslides in big numbers. We have also had long droughts. Many of these droughts have led some of our people to die.
The government is trying to address the problem by launching reforestation programs using fast-growing trees. Eucalyptus, for instance, grows large enough to be cut down for lumber in just 10 years. At least 200,000 hectares of such plantations would be necessary to satisfy the demand for wood. The Little Hands Go Green organisation is doing its part. Besides planting trees, it organises environmental groups and conferences for children.
Here we have the evidence to show that industrialization and greenhouse emissions.
Their programmes are a success. The organisation has reached over 160,000 children and has planted more than 110,000 trees. But it's more than just numbers. It's about changing people's attitudes.
When you go to the children, a children's mind is like cement. Once you mark on it, that label that you marked, you never go. So it's better you start with the young ones. You inculcate that culture within them that, you know what, need to protect your environment. That means you have a guaranteed future for them.
In Uganda, it's not only trees that are blossoming. Environmental awareness is too. This message is being conveyed to a wider audience on Ugandan television.
Everyone out there, we should plant trees to make sure that our children also have a better future. Before the world dries up, we should also make sure that we care about the environment.
Our message today is that we should plant more trees so that the future generations will be able to see and continue our work that we have just started.
The appeal is directed to other children and to their parents. Only if they listen can there be a better future. After all, it's their children who will be inheriting the planet.
Now, you know what, Edith?
What?
I think we should look at another animal that's particularly close to my heart. That's because my children love animals, and the sea turtle happens to be one of them.
That's really cute. But unfortunately, worldwide, many of them are still ending up on dining tables.
Yes, indeed. And it's not just the dining table that's the reason why they are under threat in West Africa. But in Cape Verde, some young people seeking to protect endangered species have founded an initiative. And with all the enemies that these peaceful animals have, that is no easy task at all.
This is Santa Luzia, the only desert island in Cape Verde off the West African coast. A local NGO called Biosfera keeps an eye on the loggerhead sea turtles that hatch here. They're studying the turtles in hopes of better protecting them, but this time they're too late. Co-founder Tommy Melo and his team find a turtle's nest that was attacked by a ghost crab last night. Only the eggshells are left.
This happens a lot. Ghost crabs prey on the nests. That's why it's very important to make hatcheries to protect the nests. But crabs are also essential, and denying them that source of protein could also have negative effects. Scientists haven't figured this out yet.
Ghost crabs are one problem, but it's humans who are the turtle's worst enemy.
That includes touristic developments built near the beach and nesting areas, with all their lights and noise. Then there's global warming, severe storms, and rising sea levels, which also harm the beach. And one of the main threats in Cape Verde is the incidental bycatch of sea turtles by foreign longliners, especially Asian and European ships.
5 different sea turtle species can be found in these waters. It's also one of the world's largest nesting areas for loggerheads. Santa Luzia is a protected nature reserve, and we need a special permit to visit it. The Cape Verdean authorities and Biosfera want to preserve the region as a safe haven for the turtles. At 3 a.m., we head out to search for loggerheads. Sea turtles mainly lay their eggs at night. A single nest can contain more than 100 eggs. Sea turtles are slow and awkward on land. This is where they're at their most vulnerable. It's a special moment. Loggerheads nest only every 2 to 3 years. It's exhausting work. Once the eggs are safe under the sand, the environmentalists measure the turtles and tag them with a microchip, which will provide them with valuable data.
It helps us understand how the turtles travel. And it gives a better idea of the degree to which they're vulnerable and how much they are under threat.
The nearby island of São Vicente is inhabited, making it harder to monitor and protect the turtles. Their meat and eggs are considered a traditional delicacy. Local households still consume them sometimes behind closed doors.
Sometimes when we're walking on the street, we can smell the scent of cooked turtle meat, despite all the protection efforts that unfortunately still happens on some islands.
Hunting and killing sea turtles is illegal here, but laws are not enough. Silvana Roque, who is responsible for Santa Luzia's nature reserve, says that local authorities are raising awareness and preparing even tougher legislation.
It's a difficult job because there's been a culture of hunting turtles. But we have seen some progress in recent years. For example, we get more anonymous reports from people telling us about illegal capture of sea turtles. That didn't happen a few years ago.
People who are caught hunting sea turtles can be fined up to 80,000 euros. There's some promising signs back on Santa Luzia. Since 2014, the Biosfera organization has found no evidence of illegal turtle hunting on the desert island. It's been a success for Tommy Melo and his team.
Edith, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed hosting the show here with you in Kenya, but the next one, I'll do it from back home in Nigeria.
Oh, Neota, what a shame. But you know what? It's okay. I look forward to the show, and I hope all of you watching out there do as well. And you know what? Maybe you've learned something new about good ideas, whether from Africa or Europe, to protect the environment.
And if you enjoyed the program, find out more online through our social media platforms as well. We will be back next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye from Kenya.
Bye.